What is up? My name is Mike, and this is all about pressure washing. And there have been a few questions on why WashCon is $1,800. We've gotten even more emails from folks saying that they would love to come, but they just can't afford it right now. We did a live the other day with the Core 4, and I think that the explanation in that video really did a great job in summing it all up. So I pulled that part out, and I'm about to play it for y'all. And if you think that this ticket is expensive, then you really need to watch this video. But if you're ready to invest in yourself, you're ready to invest in your business and in your future, then we're going to see you in Nashville. There are only about 10 tickets left, so click the link below to get yours now. Everyone else, let's watch the video.
You know why the ticket's as expensive as it is? Only going to be serious people there that are players in the game. And you want to know those people because you can benefit from them. They can benefit from you.
Also, the networking aspect of it is what makes it so valuable. And I wanted to pop this up. One of the comments that we got was why $1,800 for a ticket.
So that you won't come.
Before we dig into that, because I know Mike probably wants to say a couple words about that. It's like the 4-minute mile, right? Like everybody thought the 4-minute mile wasn't breakable until somebody broke the 4-minute mile. And if you're not surrounding yourself with people who are, in essence, breaking the 4-minute mile within whatever industry they're doing, you won't know that it's even possible. So coming to an event like this and you get to meet guys that are doing maybe $20,000, $30,000 a month, you can only imagine what that can do for yourself and your business.
I got
Mike,
something to say about that.
No, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah. So I always think about this when it comes to events or when it comes to courses or whatever, right? And I always see these people, you know, when I grew up in South Alabama, everyone's goal that surrounded me was to go to college, right? And so they go to a community college, which is still probably like, I don't know, $15,000, $20,000 or whatever to pay for it. And then you got all these other kids going to Bama. You're talking about, you know, $40,000, $50,000, $80,000. Then you're talking about these kids going to these Ivy League schools, and it's a lot more. And most of these people are getting out of college going to make $50,000 a year. The issue with that is our training is so high level, and we have the receipts to back it up. We got so many guys who are doing multiple six figures in the game that we feel that it's completely worth the price of one roof cleaning to come see us. And we got a lot of guys doing multiple roof cleanings for $5,000. Mike does gutter cleanings for $6,000. And so that's what we wanted to do, separate the wheat from the chaff and really concentrate the intention of who is going to be at this event. We don't have any riffraff at this event. We're not a cattle call. We're not interested in trade shows. We're not interested in anything like that to drag you across a bunch of equipment and hope you buy and you guys get to talk. No, this is a very serious event. It's not for everyone. It's only for those guys who are serious about building their business into 2022 and beyond.
Yeah, let me say something there too. I know Mike had something, but Alabama, me and Aaron, I mean, it's just a thing. That used to sound like a big number to me. $1,800. Who do they think they are? They're charging $1,800. What a ripoff! If you put it in perspective, you're talking about an industry that you can turnkey for less than 20 grand, rig and all, right? Training, equipment, everything. Call it 20 grand. And so 1,800 is a piece of that. And now you've got the potential to make $100,000 and more than that in the next 12 months, so the next fiscal year. So if you look at it in like reference to the college thing, there ain't a college in the world. There's hardly anything, a welding certificate. Like what can you go and put less than $2,000 into and get the knowledge back to make a 6-figure income in a weekend? So when you put it in perspective, like me and Dusty are going out tomorrow and we're going to do, I think we've got $950 worth of washing to do tomorrow. We're going to do it in like 4.5 hours. So I used to think that way, man. I mean, I get aggravated at those comments, but if I sit back and think about them, like I would have said the same thing, because it sounds like a lot of, if that sounds like a lot of money to you, that's why you need to come to an event like WashCon. And not just WashCon, but there's other events that in different industries that do the same thing. It is such an eye opener. You're like, oh my gosh, $1,800 ain't crap on a wash truck. I mean, show of hands, who's done $1,800 before lunch before? Plenty of times.
We've had $7,000, $8,000 days, right?
The most I've done in a day was $11,250. Previous record was $9,800 on a water tower in 6 hours. In a day, baby.
Pressure washing, not building equipment.
No, it's wash truck. That was a day of washing. How do you do that? Your eyes get open to the fact that 1,800 is almost too cheap. And we've had to learn that because our ticket prices for our events have had to go up. You know why they went up? I'll tell you exactly why. Aaron, why did our price go up? Because our previous attendees to Serious Starter, which was the baby version of WashCon, they told us after the event, what'd they tell us, Aaron?
They would have paid double. I've had probably 10 people tell us they would have paid double. It was a college course packed into 2 days with Cody and myself. And now we're adding another 2 superpowers, Justin and Mike, to the game. And WashCon is going to be stacked full of knowledge. And that's one of those things. It's almost like, you know, the whole ticket price, right? It's almost something that if it is even talked about, you become subordinate, right? Think about that. Like if you're talking, because everyone knows, if you've been in this game, guys in the chat, look, the guys in the game know the money's being made, right? We know that we're going out doing $2,000 roof cleanings all the time. All right. If it's over 4,000 square foot, that's a $2,000 roof cleaning. Okay. If you're doing the whole thing. And so we already know the value juxtaposition. That's why it's priced so cheap at 1,800.
That's right.
Yeah.
Right. If you think 1,800 is expensive, you probably shouldn't go.
You damn
Maybe
sure
you
shouldn't
should go because you need a reframe, right?
Right.
And that's all this is. We're just opening you guys' eyes up. I mean, you might get sticker shock when you see something like that, but like Aaron mentioned, it's a college course that we're going to be giving you guys in 2 days.
Well, talking about all of this and talking about the price, and, you know, I know that I've seen some folks have sent me screenshots that, you know, people are out there on, you know, the Facebook and the interweb saying that, you know, it's $1,800 is a ridiculous price. It all goes back to exactly kind of, and I put out a video today about something very similar, and it's knowing your value, knowing your worth, knowing your ideal customer, not negotiating your price, right? And if you know your value, if you know what you bring to the table, then you charge for it, right? Like we all have YouTube channels that are, you know, they've got a big subscriber base, and we provide an immense amount of value. Now we're not getting into the weeds like we are going to at WashCon, or that we do like in the Inner Circle and some of these other things. And like I think Cody was saying, like you can learn a lot by, you know, getting on YouTube, but what you're going to get is basically one-on-one with us. You know, if you buy the VIP ticket, and I can't remember how many left. I think there's 4 of those. We've increased the price on those, or not the price. We've increased the number on those because those things sold out so fast. Anyway, the value is there, and it goes back to exactly if a customer came to you and said, "Whoa, your price is too high," what are you going to tell them? Oh, I'm going to be cheaper. Well, no. You know, you get what you pay for. And if somebody wants to pay me less, they're going to get less. If you want to get everything that I know, you know, it's not free. But with all that being said, you got to know who your ideal customer is, and you don't negotiate your price. Know your value, know your worth. Somebody asked if this course was just for people in the industry, and it's absolutely not. It's open to everybody. I wish there was something like this when I was first starting out. If you want to learn, you want to accelerate your business, then this is something that you should really consider. And then just to talk about one other thing, you know, there's a lot of trade shows out there, and there's guys there that are speakers, and they're providing, you know, information. But ultimately, if you've ever been to one of these things, what these guys are there doing is trying to sell you something. We're selling you a ticket, and we're giving you everything. The only equipment, we're not going to drag you off a bunch of chemicals, drag you over a bunch of chemicals, and a bunch of equipment like they were saying. The only piece of equipment at WashCon is going to be the trailer that we're giving away to one lucky person that's bought the ticket. So Cody, what was the value on that trailer?
It's about 28 and some change, about 28,000 and some change.
So that's the only piece of equipment we're going to drag you across, and one guy is going to drive off with that thing. So, you know, that's really all I've got to say about that. The last thing I guess I do want to say is, you know, talking about just the automation and all of these things, and you don't want to confuse chaos, because that's probably where a lot of you guys are right now in your businesses. You've got so much going on. You're trying to keep up. You really can't catch your breath. You're working these long days, these long hours, and then you're trying to go home and manage all the other, administrative aspects of a business. Don't confuse chaos with progress, right? And we're going to show you how to get on track to where you are your own boss and you're really kind of growing that business, and it's not something that's overwhelming. We're going to show you how to get that chaos out of your life and really make your business that much more successful.
Absolutely. And if you're somebody who gets angry because we're charging a certain price for an event, you need to take a look in the mirror, because why would you be mad at somebody else charging a price for an event? Somebody said, what about a beginner who can't afford $1,800? Well, we offer a ton of other different training that you guys can start off with. You got how to wash, you got the inner circle, you got all these things that you can get into.
Tell me if I'm right. Like, you got two marketing guys above me on the screen here, right? I want to market, whether it's equipment, roof cleaning, or like a pocket knife, right? Here's a $400 pocket knife. It's kind of stupid price for a pocket knife. You know what I want if I'm this guy? I want 10 million eyeballs to see it. And I know full well 950,000 of them are going to say, that's a ridiculous price for a pocket knife. But I know 50,000 of them are going to be like, well, I like that, and I got that kind of money to spend, and I like quality. And then, out of those 50,000, right, it's just a funnel. Am I right or wrong? Right. And so we're not expecting everybody that sees the ticket to come. We know that you're going to think that it's too much, 98%, but we're trying to get it in front of a lot of eyeballs because there's going to be a percentage. Aaron always talks about this on his channel. There's always going to be that 1% guy.
I operate a dog whistle. That's it. I'm operating a dog whistle. I am not calling everybody. I don't want everybody around me. I don't like everybody. Right? I don't want them all around me.
What it is, because
I only want serious individuals who are going to be in that private club with us, wanting to build their business.
Joey,
why would I want somebody who's going to talk some riffraff about not wanting to market? And look, let me tell you, the cheap folks, they won't even do what you say anyway.
Right.
So this goes to show a lot of people who are lowering their prices for even their customers, right? In pressure washing. It's terrible. These are the worst customers ever. The customer, you're like, oh, I'm going to give them a deal, and you're already cheap, mind you, and you're doing the house wash for $200, and they follow you around the yard. Then they call you back for something that's their fault.
Right.
And now your customers are always the worst.
They're the worst. I operate a dog whistle. I'm sincerely calling a few individuals out who are watching this right now, who are serious about operating their business. Get signed up for WashCon. Come see all four of us, sit down with us, and launch your business into 2022. That's it. We're not calling the thousands of people who are watching this. We only want this many.
Yep.
Some people, I don't think, here's the thing. I think some people, when they're talking about events and stuff, they're like, come one, come all. Everyone is welcome. And I operate the opposite business mindset. I only want about 100 people out of the thousands who are going to watch this, you see? And that's the way you need to operate your pressure washing business. Think about it, guys. If you had 200 to 300 people who gave you $1,000 a year each, just on recurring basis, like, you can operate a serious little pressure washing company like that. You would have to get people who believe in your service, people who love what you do, who trust you around their home, their dogs, their house. It's the same thing. We want those people who trust us to take them to the next level. We don't want anybody else.
Absolutely. Big shout out to Waterworks Pro Wash. He said, I just bought a ticket. Got me and my helper.
Cool, man. Hey, I've seen him comment a lot over the years. If it's the same guy, you're even out of the 100 people that are going to be there, there's going to be a percentage of those people that are more serious about what they're doing and more, game on. And that's who we like to deal with, because honestly, I don't have the time to babysit. If it was a $200 event, it was no problem. You're going to have people beating down the door, but the problem is you're going to have stupid people.
Dan Kennedy says at the $200 event, the people complain about the little tea packets that were in the water kiosk at the $200 event. He goes, at the $20,000 event, You give them a legal pad and a pencil, and they're there all day long, ready to grind. It's a different type of individual, and it's hard to speak to a person who's lower frequency.
It is.
Right? You can't directly speak to them because I was there at one time. Look, I grew up in South Alabama, dog.
It was frustrating to me because I know I used to be that way, and I was probably an idiot to somebody else who was trying to help me. And I see myself in these people. I'm like, bro, stop. Listen, I've sat through Aaron's spiel 4 or 5 times now. Aaron's spiel's worth $1,800. Like, I'd be learning something every time. Like, God, man, I need to do this. I need to do that. Like, we're getting back on the wash truck, and like, I'm going to be picking Mike's brain the whole weekend because I haven't ran a wash truck in 3 years. And last time I did it on a legal pad like an idiot. Yep. I'm like, I can build equipment, but I really suck at writing down all these names in this legal pad.
And you lost it too, if I recall.
I lost the legal pad. Stupid. Lost the whole list.
There you go. Look, this person, Blue Line, says, show me your friends and I'll show you who you are.
Absolutely.
That's absolutely right.
Hang out with a group of Navy SEALs, you might become one.
If the event was priced at $200, we'd be doing a disservice to a lot of guys there because, one, you wouldn't take the material as, you wouldn't take it as serious, and you probably wouldn't implement it. And somebody's paying $200, there's not an anchor there. $1,800, you're going to get your money's worth, and you're going to be anchored to do it.
What are we, Mike? What are we giving away total in prizes and everything? It's like,
well, hell, with the trailer that's like $28K, and then I think all the other stuff, we're going to give away a boatload of our courses. I think it's about $15,000, honestly, on top of the $28,000 trailer. We've got a couple next level courses. We're going to give away, I think, a smart blend. Aaron's going to give away some of the contractor ads. We're going to give away a couple of Justin's Facebook ad strategies. I mean, this is, if you happen to be lucky enough to win, and every ticket gets an entry into the drawing. The guys that are VIP ticket holders, they get 2 entries. So you get 2 chances to win the $28,000 trailer. Like, I'm not a betting man, but
good.
I think, those are pretty good odds. We've only got, 100 tickets total. And I think about 12 or 13 of those are going to get, the opportunity to win 2. So those are really good odds. But again, that's not what this is about, right? This is about taking your business and showing you how to make enough money to where $1,800 isn't a lot of money and $28,000 isn't a bunch of money.
No, it's not. And I'm to the point where I'm looking at, leadership courses and stuff for our company. So I want to my goal is to get to a $10 million a year business. And that's very doable. In the next 2 to 3 years, we can attain that. But to do that, I've got to do some massive things here. I've got to do some infrastructure things, and I've got to do some training for leadership training, because my personal problem is I keep wanting to stick my hand in it. And I don't need to. I need to be this guy. I need to be what Mike's talking about. I need to remind myself. So the type of training events that I'm looking at, guys, they're $30,000, for a weekend. And I know Aaron has took some very expensive courses to learn some of the stuff that he knows that guys want him to answer for free in the comments section all the time. But this stuff is, if you just got to put it in perspective, guys. We're making $4,000 or $5,000 a week with a truck and like a helper. It's going to be a great event. It's going to cut away all that crap and put it in perspective. And here's how we know this is not our first rodeo, not with me and Aaron right there. So we've done about 6 events. It's going to be Mike and Justin's first time presenting. But I got all the confidence in the world in them. They're going to get up there and knock it out of the park. They've got the information. So getting it out of them and getting it into your head, huge learning curve. Man, what a learning curve cutoff. Think about the lost opportunity cost if it takes you an additional 12 to 18 months to learn just a couple of these concepts.
It's more than $1,800.